Hello and welcome to Friday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we've got a real treat for you today. A puzzle called Entanglement by none other than Dyer. It is just a straightforward, I say straightforward, it's probably not straightforward, but it is, in terms of rules, it is just a straight killer Sudoku. That is all. And let me show you, we've had this recommended to us umpteen times over the last week or so. Let me show you. Look at these comments. What on earth did I just solve? I love that from Shape. One of the best killer Sudokus I've ever seen. Kane Puzzles, that's Can Ertuğren, the brilliant constructor and solver from Turkey. What an idea. I mean, basically everybody, and there's many well-known names from the world of Sudoku, saying that this is absolutely, that you really are outrageously clever, writes Human Bird Song. Dyer is incredibly clever. I think I called one of the videos about her puzzles something like Dyer is a genius, and it is true. Dyer is a genius. Yeah, this has 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, and this is what I'm going to attempt in today's video. But before I do that, actually I should mention another Dyer related topic, which is that a number of our patrons over on Patreon have asked me to have a go at another Dyer puzzle. Have I got it? I think it's this one. It's called Repeat Prescription, and it's got these funny lines in it, and reading the rules, they're something like, they're a bit like Renban lines, only they can have repeated digits on them. Anyway, a number of you have suggested that you might like me to try and have a go at this, but this has 5 stars out of 5 for difficulty and is apparently incredibly difficult, which is what's generating the requests. I will try and do that at some point. Whether that video is going to be for patrons or on the channel, I can't tell. It's going to depend, A, whether I can solve it, and B, how long that video is, etc. But I will try and have a look at it for those of you who ask me about it at some point. Now, what else can I tell you? Well, it's the 2nd of August, and that means we have just released a brand new Sudoku hunt for our patrons. It's by Scojo, Jojo and JoBo, who go under the sort of portmanteau Scojojobo, if I'm not mistaken. It's themed on clones. Some of you have already solved it and have loved it, so it really is a beautiful set of puzzles, so do have a go at it. You've got plenty of time to enter the competition, which closes on the 20th of the month. Other than that, you'll have noticed, the eagle-eyed amongst you, that I'm back on my computer today after my sort of peripatetic lifestyle over the last few weeks, but I can continue to catch up on birthdays, so I apologize if I read out your birthday here and I'm late with it. It's not really my fault, but it was unavoidable. But let's go through them. Lydia, you turned 16 back on the 27th of July. I know this because your dad Matt wrote to us and said you'd like a shout out. So Lydia, I hope you had an absolutely brilliant birthday with chocolate cake, of course. Oh, I might get the pronunciation wrong of this one. I'm going to go for a tray, I think. It could be a tray, but I think more likely a tray. Your best friend Ananya wrote us a lovely email actually, telling us that you both met at university and you still solve together now, even though you're on opposite sides of the world. I guess that is one of the wonders of the internet, and assuring us that you like chocolate cake. So a tray, I hope you have I hope you had a great birthday, and thank you for watching the channel. Next, Angela, you turned 55 on 24th of July. I know this because your husband Andy wrote to us. Now, I probably shouldn't tell you this, Angela, but Andy's email was quite delighted that he felt that you definitely reached the mid-50s now. I had the impression he was slightly jealous, like he'd been in the mid-50s for a while, and the two of you had argued over quite what mid-50 constituted. So I'm just letting you know that, Angela. But I hope you had a great birthday, and I apologise if I'm making trouble there. Kevin, who are there in Washington State, you turned 22 back on July the 22nd. I know this because your sister Sarah wrote to us and told us that you watch the channel religiously. So thank you, Kevin, for watching, and I hope you had a great birthday with cake, of course, chocolate cake. Next, Ruth, down there in New Zealand. This is on the 27th of July. You turned, I don't know how old you turned actually, but your partner Matt wrote to us and did describe you as the love of his life. and I think he's been trying to convert you to Sudoku, and the best attempt so far has been via Dorlear's puzzle, Rising Circles, which was wonderful. So I can understand how that's got the conversion process underway. And Ruth, I hope you had a great birthday. And then finally, Venci. Venci, you turned 25. I think you're originally from Bulgaria, but have recently moved to the United States for a career in data science. And I know all this because back in Bulgaria, your friend Veni wrote to us, telling us she couldn't be happier for you, even though the two of you can't celebrate your birthday in the same place this year. So Venci, I hope you had a great birthday with cake. They do some good cake in the States. That's all the news. And with that, we can turn our attention to Entanglement and see what the great J. Dyer has concocted this time. These are the short rules of the puzzle. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column and every 3x3 box. And then digits in a cage may not repeat and sum to the indicated total. So those 5 digits there, boom, they sum to 16, but what we can't do is something like that, because although normal Sudoku rules would permit these ones to be in these positions, you can see the 1 has repeated in the cage, and that is too naughty for words. It will mean you get the puzzle wrong. Don't do that. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking, and somewhat unusually for a J. Dyer puzzle, which normally resolves staring at them sort of as your brain slowly breaks for many hours. We can actually do some things here, because a 23 cage must be 6, 8, 9. A 16 cage in 5 cells must be 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. A 7 cage must be 1, 2 and 4, where the cursor was there was useful. A 22 cage in 3 cells, there's only 2 ways of filling that. It's either going to be 5, 8, 9 or 6, 7, 9. It must have a 9 in it. We've got a plethora of 6 cages as well. They only have 2 ways of being filled. I will go on, I will. It's either a 1-5 pair or a 2-4 pair in each case. Okay, that might be as far as we can take that logic, at least initially. 6. Okay, so the 6. Okay. So the 6 in the 16 cage, it obviously can't be in the same box as the 6, 8, 9 triple, so it's in this domino. And that begs an interesting question. If we just take a quick look at those cells, we can now ask where 6 goes in row 3, can't we? And that has a slightly restricted answer, in the sense that it can't go in the 12 cage, because then it would have to be double 6, and that won't work. So 6 is in one of these 2 squares, which means these squares are 4 or 2, which is... No, that is more than moderately interesting, actually. Sorry, I'm just going to get rid of that highlighting, because that's rather pretty here and a little bit here. Right, so because 6, if the 6 was in the 10 cage, the digit beneath it would be a 4. But if the 6 was in the 8 cage, the digit beneath it would be a 2. So there is a 2 or a 4 in one of these 2 squares, and that prevents this 6 cage from being a 2-4 cage. That's got to be a 1-5 cage now, and now this digit can't be 1 or 5. So this 6 cage has become a 2-4 pair, which actually is doing some stuff up here. So this is now 1-3 pair, which is restricting some digits in the 16 cage again. I like this so far. It's got a very nice threat. Hang on, there's lots going on now. Well, actually there is quite a lot going on. Yeah. I don't know if I want to put... Oh, that's a very peculiar bird sound. I don't know if I want to do that. I mean, it is true. There is sort of a floating 1, 2, 4 triple in this box. Because there is a 2 or a 4 in this domino, in the purple domino, and obviously these squares are selected from 1, 2 and 4, between those 4 digits, or those 4 cells, we know the 1, 2 and the 4 in box 6 have to live in those 4 cells. But if I sort of do that, that's a bit misleading. But okay, I'm going to go back to something else I've noticed. Let's just get rid of the colour. I've got a 1, 2, 4 triple in row 6. Now the 1 of that 1, 2, 4 triple is definitely in this domino, isn't it? And that means this square can't be a 1, and that means I've now got a 2, 4 pair in row 7. And that is about as useful as a... What? Oh, no. Well, maybe. I was going to say it's about as useful as a chocolate teapot, but I was wondering actually, because I sort of do know now. I could colour my 2s and 4s is what I was thinking. So if I make this square purple, then this square is obviously not the purple digit, but this one is. And now, because I know one of those digits is a 2 or a 4, it is the purple 2 or 4, because there must be a blue 2 or 4 in this domino along with a 1. So that's got a purple 2 or 4 in it, and that's... that doesn't quite do anything. Oh, 1. 1 by Sudoku is in these 3 squares. This 6 cage. That 6 cage can't be a 2-4 pair any longer, because that would make both of those squares only selectable from the digit 6, and that will most certainly be wrong. So this is a 1-5 pair, this is a 1-5 pair. That can't be a 1 anymore. 5 is in one of 4 places. I'm not prepared to pencil mark that. I've got a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple in column 3. I know one of these is a 2 or a 4. Purple, okay, the purple 2 or 4 is in these 3 squares. Is in one of them anyway. Can I? I'm just wondering if I can colour purples or blues across the 16 cage. That feels like... It feels like that's something Jay wants me to do. I can't see how to do it. I need to... If I knew what this one was, then obviously I could colour this one. Oh, bobbins, I'm stuck now. I was going quite well for a moment. What on earth do we do now? I don't think... It seems to be about low digits rather than high digits, he says, probably getting the whole idea of the puzzle wrong. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I can't see how to do this at the moment. Oh, okay. That digit goes in there, doesn't it? So whatever this digit is, whatever colour it is, it's either blue or purple. And it has to go in there because it can't repeat in its cage, it doesn't repeat in its row, and it isn't equal to 1 or 5. So that digit is in one of those 2 squares. Which means that there's a sort of floating 2, 4, 6 triple in box 2 between... So 2, 4 and 6 are locked into that 2 by 2. So these digits are from... Oh, they're from 3, 7, 8 and 9, but we don't know that there's a 3 in here, so I can't disambiguate the 1 and the 3. No, sorry, I'm not quite getting this, am I? What about... No, that's a bad thought. I keep having bad thoughts. 5 and 7 are on that diagonal in box 1. 2, 4, 5. This digit, unfortunately, I was going to say it has to be high, but it doesn't quite, because it could be 3, I think. It can't be 1 or 5 or 2 or 4. So it is 3, 6 or 7. And this digit is... it's not 6 actually. Because if that was 6, this digit would be 2, and it can't be because we've got this 2, 4 pair in row 7. So that digit is 1 or 5, which actually gives me a 1, 5 pair in column 1, knocks 5 out of this square. Ah. Oh, right. Okay. That is absolutely beautiful. Right, this is why Dyer is a genius. Watch this. Okay, where is 5 in box 1? And the answer is, I don't quite know, but I do know it's in one of those two squares. Now, 5 in box 2 is in one of these two squares. So, where is 5 in row 3? And this is the same question we asked about 6, but it has a different and related answer in a gorgeous way. Because 5 can't go in the 10 cage, because this would be double 5. Remember, if we put 6 in the 12 cage, it would have been double 6. So 5 can't go here. Now that means 5 is in one of those two squares, but look what that does to these two digits. If 5 goes here, this is 7. And if 5 goes here, this is 3. Now, I'm not going to put those in because I don't know which way round it goes. But what I am seeing is that if there is 3 or 7 in these two squares, this 10 cage now it's only full of even digits. It can't be a 3-7 pair anymore. And it can't be a 1-9 pair because it's got 1 looking at it. So this is colourable by reference to 2 or 4, which must be in it. Because it is blue, isn't it? It's not got the... Because it's either 2-8 or 4-6. The 2 or the 4 digit that is in here is not purple, so must be blue. And that means... Oh, that's got to be important. It's too beautiful that these squares included 5, and that put a 3 or a 7 into this domino. I wonder, 4. I was wondering whether... Imagine that 4 had to be in one of these 3. Then this couldn't be a double 4 cage, so that would put 4 into one of those, which would make these selectable from 8 and 6, which it feels like it's trying to do something. And there's no reason for me to think 4 is in here, apart from 5 and 6 have just worked so beautifully. No, I forget that, Simon. Sorry, I'm trying to shortcut things that shouldn't probably be shortcut. Let's go back. Right, this is even, and it's got blue in it. So blue is in one of those squares now, because blue is here. So just by Sudoku on blue, which is the 2 or the 4 digit in the 10 cage, which is... Do I now know what this is somehow? If that was... No, I don't. If that was purple, purple would just go down there somewhere, wouldn't it? Oh, bother. I don't know. Sorry. No. Yes. Yes. Okay, here is a better question. Right, and to see this, it's a bit tricky. But what I was wondering about was where blue went in this column. And that is quite an interesting question, I think. Because we know that blue is not here. And the reason we know that is to go back to what we were thinking about this digit. We were saying that this digit in box 2 is not in its own row and is not in its own cage, so that digit is up here, and therefore we know that 2 and 4. Let's do it like that. That's going to be the best way of showing this. 2 and 4 in box 2 have to be in these squares, so the blue digit is in these squares. I just don't know where it goes. So this isn't blue. We can't have blue in its own box, and this isn't blue. So blue is in one of those squares, which is, well, that's doing a little something to oh, that's it, we've done it. Right, this is gorgeous. Okay, so I still don't know what blue is, but I don't care, because whatever blue is, it's sort of locked into the left side of one of these 9 cages. Now, what are the right-hand digits then? It's the same idea again. The right-hand digits, if blue is 2, the right-hand digit is 7. If blue is 4, the right-hand digit is 5. So there is a 5 or a 7 here, just as there's a 2 or a 4 there. And where was the other place? I can't remember. There was somewhere else where this is happening. But if this has 5 or 7 in it, look at this 12 cage now. That can't be 5 anymore, because that would be 7. And this 5-7 pair would break the ability of there to be a blue in the left side of this double 9 domino. So that's not 5. So this is 5. That's also giving us the 6, look. That's now a 3, which is definitely not an orange digit. Sorry, a purple digit. So that's purple, and that's 4. Because by maths, purple is... So purple is 4 by maths. So purple is 4 by maths. Let's put that in, hang on. So blue is 2 by sort of thingy, by elimination. That's definitely purple. 4 and is purple and is up there. Oh, does that I feel like that wants that to be a 4. I'm not sure. It might be possible for this to be a 4. And then 4. Oh, that could be 4, 9. I don't know. Not sure. Sorry, that's probably very easy to do, and I'm just not seeing it. What about row 4 then? Where we have got an awful lot of digitage. 6, 7 and 9. Okay, let's put 6, 7 and 9 in, because what we cannot do is put 6 here, because that would be also... Oh, we can't put 7 here either, because that would be 5, and that would break down there, as well as breaking this digit. So that's 9, apparently, which means this square is 3. Which means 3 is in one of those 2 squares by Sudoku. In box 9, 3 is now resolved. Ah, no. I thought that was going to do something. Well, no, it does. It does do something. Where's 3 in box 2? It's there by Sudoku. And therefore, that square is not... it's not a blue or a purple digit. Now, this is a blue or a purple digit. Now, it's equal to this digit. So these are the same. I'm going to just label that with an A to remind me of that. I don't yet know, or at least I don't know. You might be watching this video shouting at me in the future, and I wish I could hear you, but I don't see how I know what these are. I don't think anyway. Oh, hang on. Hang on, once we know blue is 2, we know one of these is a 2, don't we? So we know one of these is a 7. Ah, alright, that's useful. If I know 7 is in this domino of box 9, this is not 6, 7, 9. That's now 5, 8, 9, which feels like a win for the good guys. Right, this is now 5 by Sudoku. 8's interesting. Look where 8 is. I don't know exactly, but it's in this domino now. In box 6, which means I can place 8 in box 4, which means I can... No, I nearly can place 8 in box 7. It would be very useful if it was here. This would be a 5. That would be... Oh, that's possible, actually. That would place 5s all over the place. I know purple is 4. 5, 8, 9... Where's 5 in box 6? It's there, which places the 8 as well. So there's an 8 up here by Sudoku. These squares are 6 and 7 by, again, this fair weather friend Sudoku keeps raising its head today. This is a 1 or a 2. Ah, where is 6 in this box? By Sudoku, it's in the same cells that the 7 is in. So this is a 6, 7 pair. So this is a 2, 3 pair by the maths of these dominoes having to add up to 9. which feels like it's trying to do something. Yeah, it is. That's gorgeous. Right, where is 3 now? In row... Oh, hang on, this is doing... No, it's doing much more than this. Okay, where is 3 in row 7 is a reasonable question. And the answer is here, apparently. But also, I've got a 5 here, so that's a 1 and that's a 7. Which means that's a 6 and that's a 7. So now I know those digits. By Sudoku, they are 2, 3, and 9. Okay, hang on, I can put 9 in there, therefore. This is a 2, 3 pair. Sorry, that's totally obvious. Right, now that's placed my blue digit. So blue is living in this square. Well, aha! Aha! Right, that means that this square is 4, and therefore it is purple, which means that there is no purple repeating in the 16 cage. This square is now the purple 4. Which means that is not 4, and not purple. So these 2 squares are now a 2, 6 pair. Isn't this beautiful? Now, if that's a 2, 6 pair, that is therefore 2, and that's 8, and 2 is the blue digit, and that is not coloured at all. And for our next deduction, we will... Oh, I see. So 7 here is coming out of this square. So this is now a 5, 7 pair in box 1. So that digit is... Now that... Oh, that's the 2, of course. Right, so that's a 2. These digits are now 7, 8, and 9. That's not 8. That's not 7. And that, well, we can do the 1 and the 5, I suppose. Let's put those in case that reveals something. Oh, this column. What are these digits? 5, 7, and 8, but one of them is in the 13 cage. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's it. Okay, this can't be a 7. Because this would be a 6 to add up to 13. This would be a 6, 7 pair, and that square would be impossible. So this is, well, this is not 7. This is a 5, 8 pair. So this is a 7. That's a 7. That's a 5. That's a 5. That's a 1. And we can probably do lots of things as a result of that, but I can't see what they are. Okay, if that's 8, this is 8. That's 5. So this square is a 6 or a 9, apparently. And the other digit we've not put in here is 4, which is one of the... So we've got 6, 9, and 4 into these squares. One, obviously, the 4 is the purple digit, so... Can we do anything with that? And the answer is, I don't know. I can't see how. Alright, that's 7. So that is doing things. So that's 7, that's 6, that's 3, that's 2. 3 doesn't deserve to be blue, but 2 does. So that gives me a 1 in the corner, which I feel like I should sing about, but technically probably shouldn't. A 4 in the corner up there, which is the purple digit. This is uncoloured. That gives me the 2 and the 6. We know that 2 is blue. Wherever we find it, 2 is blue. So let's put that in. I feel like we've done loads of 2s. Yeah, let's keep doing 2s, in fact, because that's a 2. That's a 2. That's a 1. These 2 both become blue. That one unblues itself. 1 in column 7 is there. So that's 1. That's 8. That's 8. 6, 9 pair. It's going to have to be resolved by something in the bottom left corner. And these squares are 7 and 9. We can do that. 7, 9. So this digit is a 3. There's a 6 here. So that's a 6 in the corner. 6, 9, 4. Let's get the colouring right. That's okay, that's done the top. So that's 6, that's 9. I feel like we've almost cracked this, you know. That's 7, that's 6 using this 7. These squares are 3, 5, and 9. Can we do, yeah, we can put 9 in. And 3 and 5. So I should know what, I've always known what these digits are. I just hadn't realised I did. These are 1, 4, and 6, which is chocolate teapotted, I think. In the sense that I've got a 1 here, a 4 here, and a 6 here. So, oh no, this must be resolved. I've got 2, oh, 9, yeah, that's resolved. So that's 8. This is 4 or 6 by Sudoku, and it can't be 4, so that's got to be 6. That's 4. That's unwinding our chocolate teapot. This is 9. This is 8. Yeah, this is finishing. This is finishing. It's absolutely beautiful. That's 7. That's 7. That's 9. I should be able to put 9 into the bottom row. I need 1, 4, and 5. So 4 goes here. 1, 5 is finished. I just have to do my colouring. Okay, so those are all the purples. All the blues, I don't know why. Oh, did I highlight 5s? Was that what I was doing originally? It's something like this, I think. Let's see. Yes. You solved the puzzle. It's correct. It's absolutely sensationally good. It's beautiful. It's just, what I love about it. Actually, there's many things I love about it, but what I particularly love about it is that it has a theme that is exploited beautifully. And the theme revolves around you not knowing quite where a digit is, or even which cage it's in, and yet you can restrict it enough that it matters. So here it was 6 and then 5, and there was something, yeah, down here, whether 2 or 4 went in the 9 cage, it did something. And I think there was somewhere else as well, and it had this, you know, it kept on asking the similar question. It's a beautiful puzzle, as you'd expect from a genius. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.